Here's one. This is more up your alley.
Okay, please. I'd like to be back in my alley.
Because you're in your early 20s when this happens. This girl was your age, Maura Murray.
Remember Do you know that? About Maura Murray and me?
Now we have a podcast.
But seriously, do you know?
No, I have no idea.
We graduated the same school. We were on the same track cross-country team. I've spent 40 hours on a school bus with Maura Murray.
So here's what's going on here, everybody. This is why we podcast. This is why we dig. You didn't want to do ghosts. You didn't want to do Loch Ness Monster. I say Maura Murray. You know Maura Murray. And now I feel like it's a sensitive subject. You don't want to talk about it.
No, I'm happy to talk about it. This is a weird thing, though, because Maura Murray has become literally the most famous or talked about for people because there's all these sleuthy people that love murder and all that stuff. We all do to some degree.
Right.
Fascinated by the investigation and murder docs and missing people and unsolved mysteries.
Yeah.
And Maura Murray has become like number one, for lack of a better term, like the most famous mystery.
I mean, and I just looked up, Massachusetts mysteries. You go to high school with Maura. What are the odds of that?
Whitman-Hanson High School, and we ran all the same sports. We ran cross-country, winter track, spring track. She was a big track star, same grade, and she dated a good buddy of mine, a good high school buddy of mine. I'm out of touch with him now, Matt Libby. And they were a hot item. Yeah. So I know Maura Murray well. She was extremely introverted or maybe she wasn't that introverted, but she was certainly quiet on the bus. And I didn't really talk to girls in high school. So I didn't have more than 3 conversations with her, maybe.
I was not expecting you going to high school with her. This is good.
No, people are blown away by this. And people look it up. Like I've had people there's Reddit threads of why doesn't Joe List talk about Maura Murray?
I mean, I'm
this is it. This is crazy. This is a big get to have me talking about Maura Murray.
Yeah, you have no idea. I'm doing I'm jumping over. I'm over the moon right now.
Well, I mean, I can't be making light of this because I went to high school with all of her friends. So that's the tough part.
Line.
I wish it was some.
Well, I'm not trying to make fun of her. Hey, she's missing, fuck her, or whatever. I'm saying this. It's terrible.
But this is crazy that you have Maura Murray written down there, and I went. I
got a whole page on Maura Murray. I did a lot of research.
I've gone deep dive into Maura.
The thing that really got me on the Maura Murray thing, I was kind of it's a standard issue missing person until somebody saw her, and then initially when they made the call, and then when the cops came, she wasn't there, but all her stuff was in the car, and the car was locked.
Right.
And what they thought was blood was actually wine.
Oh, is that right? Because there's been a few podcasts. There's one podcast that's 700 episodes, and I'm like, that's too many episodes.
Yeah.
But from doing a real deep dive, and then I read, there's a Reddit thread, and there was a guy somewhere, I don't know if I could ever find it again.
Yeah.
This is pretty recently, because every once in a while I go back in there because it's really unbelievable. Because I knew her dad, not
oh man,
intimately, but her sister Julie and her dad would be at every meet. We were at 100% of the same events for 4 straight years.
So Derek knows her.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel bad now. I feel like this is a person you know. It's like if you knew Lizzie Borden.
But again, I don't know her. We didn't hang out. Like I said, I'm we weren't at the same parties or whatever. But she was always so driven, and she was an unbelievable runner. She would win a race by a quarter mile and then just keep running. And her father was very they were very discipline-y people. She went to West Point for a year.
So she did the Gump.
Yeah.
She kept running.
Yeah, she was unbelievable. State champ, the whole thing, almost a valedictorian. I think maybe she was, or top 3 or 4 or whatever. I mean, she got to West Point.
And you're doing comedy, and you find out that she's gone missing.
Yeah, so it must have been 2002 that she went missing?
2004.
Yeah, no, I remember, and it was crazy, and you're just like, oh, wow. But also at 2004, that's when I was opening for Dane Cook and Dave Attell. My career was starting to go, and I was really drinking excessively. Yeah. So it was kind of whoa, that's weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Tom Dust, just hanging out. But yeah, it's crazy. And then now that it keeps going, and unsolved mysteries are crazy. But anyways, what I was going to say is this guy on Reddit who's an outdoorsy guy, really broke it down, and I think has what happened is that she ran into the woods, and it's hard to believe, but it could be hard to find her and be traced, and then eventually animals get to a person and everything. But you'd think you'd find traces of sneakers, pants, all that stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
But the snow and the leaf, he wrote it so eloquently and and you're like, oh, this guy's got it.
Yeah.
And footprints would disappear because of snow and whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it's a crazy thing. It's very mysterious, and she didn't really, the ATM and the maps and all the stuff, it's really wild.
They found bones near where the car was, and then I don't know how they do this. They go and they look at the bones and they go, these aren't her bones.
Right, yeah, because the neighbor, there was something suspicious with the neighbor, and there was something buried underneath, and dogs and all that.
It's amazing to me that I mean, not me personally, but if we could look at you specifically, your bones, and be like, these are Joe List bones.
Oh, they're very funny bones.
I have good bones.
You seem like you have good bones.
Luke Bones.
Luke Bonus. The other day, someone said his name rhymes with bonus, and I was like, this is a big contentious spot with us.